Aloha sports fans, and welcome to the MIL football edition of the Maui News Sports Report. I'm Rob Colias, and I'm joined this week by Jordan Helly, a two-time first-team MIL All-Star quarterback himself. Jordan, it was the year of the Lunas in MIL football, and that was a story led by MIL Players of the Year Connor Mawat and Jared Rocha Islas.
Yeah, both juniors. Historic season for the Lunas. Ran through the league slate in dominant fashion, really reflected in the individual honors that came out yesterday. 12 out of the 24 first-team spots taken up by Lunas. Jared Rocha Islas, 814 yards rushing in just 8 league games, 12 touchdowns on the ground, add in 1 receiving touchdown as well for 13 overall. Scored 124 points when you add in his place-kicking duties. He was really an all-around guy for the Lunas, played some defense as well. The eye-popping stat, over 12.5 yards a carry every time they gave him the ball. It was basically a first down. Credit to that offensive line as well for Lahaina Luna, and he'll be the first one to tell you. But a very well-earned, well-deserved honor for Rocha on the offensive side of the ball. For the Lunas on defense, Connor Mawat, I think very well-deserved, and I think good to see, one of those interior linemen get a little love. Those guys don't show up in stats. He's a guy that the Lunas moved around a bit. Primarily an interior lineman guy, kind of playing in between the tackles. They've moved him out to end a little bit in Coach Watson's defensive system. Really the heart and soul of that front seven, probably one of the best units in the state, anywhere you'll find. But Mawat down inside in the trenches, did a lot of the dirty work, maybe some of the bigger name guys, missed some time throughout the season for various reasons and whatever, but it was Mawat that was kind of the anchor, and I think very well deserved, and I'm glad the coaches really pinpointed him as the defensive player of the year. I thought he was a very, very big part of that Luna defense.
Switching gears here, Jordan. Friday night I was at MIL boys basketball opener between defending champion King Kekalike and the Lunas. Defending, returning MIL player of the year, Chase Iwata Bartlemy, showed exactly why he is that. 25 points, 11 of 15 shooting, 7 rebounds, and he really took over the game in a couple of key spurts. In a 16-3 run, he had 12 points and assists on the other 2 baskets.
Yeah, very impressive victory for King Kekalike to open up the boys' basketball regular season slate. Went to Lahaina and beat a Lunas team that we were very high on coming out of the preseason slate. They played a lot of tough games, and for King Kekalike to go on the road, pick up that big victory, I think says a lot about them as a team. I think it says a lot about the race that's ahead in the MIL boys basketball slate. I think it'll be a very tight one. Maui High with a big victory last night over the Lunas, so I think it'll be a very, very competitive race, and I think very good to see King Kekalike. Of course, Iwata Bartlemy, you can almost pencil him in for 15 or plus points a night, depending on the opponent. But good to see them as well get Elijah Ngoring going. I think he's going to be a key part, kind of that second option behind Iwata Bartlemy. Had a big game against the Lunas.
And, Elijah with 18 points and 5 assists in that win on Friday night. And I think that makes King Kekalike a real challenger to the team I think both of us believe is the MIL favorite in Baldwin. Shifting gears again, Jordan, don't look now, but the Lunas girls, 19-1, and they are ranked number 1 in the state of Hawaii.
Yeah, they go on the road. They'll play anybody, anywhere, anytime almost with this Lunas program. Coach Todd Ricard has done an unbelievable job. Their only loss, that one blemish on the record, was a loss to defending state champion Kamehameha Oahu in a tournament on Oahu earlier in the preseason. The Warriors have lost in league play to Marino to start off ILH play, so that has vaulted Lahaina Luna back into the number 1 spot in the state polls. That'll go a long way towards state seeding once we get there. The Lunas have been as impressive as they've ever been in this unbelievable streak of 5-6 years or so. Put up 73 points in the first half in a game this past weekend, and they just seem to keep on going. They're almost a machine out there on the west side.
Very, very deep team. Any girl, any night can lead that team. In MIL soccer, there was a very physical, emotional game played between Kamehameha and King Kekalike, last year's boys representatives to the state tournament. Ended in a 1-1 tie. Both teams lost players to red cards, and I think that's indicative of how this race is going to go.
Yeah, it always seems to be a dogfight in boys soccer, that cross-highway rivalry, if you will, of country club teammates, club opponents going at it on the high school front. 1-1 draw, that puts Baldwin and King Kekalike into a tie for first place with 13 points overall. Kamehameha Maui is right behind them at 11. It'll be kind of that 3-horse race. Lahaina Luna lurking a little bit behind them, but it seems to be a three-dog race for those two spots into the state tournament. It's going to come down to the wire again. We've already seen an epic battle between Kamehameha Maui and Baldwin, now Kinke Kalike and Kamehameha Maui. It'll be a battle as we go forward into the new year.
And absolutely, the boys' title is up for grabs. I don't believe that's the case in girls. Kamehameha Maui, very impressive. Saturday night in the rain, the fog, the wind at Kanaia-Aupuni Stadium in a 3-0 win over Maui High.
Yeah, Maui High, second place overall right now, tied with Kinke Kalike, but Kamehameha Maui with a decisive 3-0 victory over the Sabres. 6 games played, 6 games won, unblemished record for the Warriors. It seems to kind of be Maui High, Kinke Kalike, and Baldwin, who's a few points back with a few games in hand as well. Kamehameha Maui Warriors sitting at 18 points overall. Maui High, Kinke Kalike at 12 points over on Baldwin with 9 points overall. So it's going to be another battle kind of similar to the boys' side. Very competitive games going forward. It'll be a dogfight down the stretch. Girls with a little bit less to go in their season, so we're kind of getting into the nitty-gritty for them.
And that's it for this week's report. And send us your bobbleheads.